So Games Workshop, Warhammer, Warhammer 40K, Age of Sigmar. I don't talk about these a lot, and I've explained before why I never really got into the hobby. Money. However, when I had the shop, I did have to deal with them a lot, frankly. I was a carrier of their product for a while. It was a horrible experience. And I understand that there's a lot of people who really love this game. And I've read some of the lore. I can't wait to one day get the patience to read more of it. It's excellent. I've watched the people who play really get into it and enjoy it. And I'm all about enjoying your hobby. And I probably know more about the hobby than the game. And I have some thoughts on that. And I've shared one previously, but somebody told me that it was a bad idea. And it was the first time somebody said, no, that's a horrible idea. It's a bad idea. And I thought I'd share it here and see what other people's opinion of it is. If I were to go in and take over Games of Workshop today, the first thing I would do is I would fire the entire production line. I'd shut it down. I would triple investment in design and sell STLs. Oh, that's a bad business idea, somebody said. But is it? My mini factory exists. I know how much I spent on merchant licenses there. And I know how much I made on selling just a little bit on things like Etsy and in the shop. Mostly on Etsy, though. Most of my in-shop stuff came from specific requests. And frankly, what happens between two people, not online, a lot of that was unlicensed stuff, including... So... The point being that people will pay for STLs. They will. And people will pay for printing. So chances are there would still be part of the production arm ready, but it would be a print to order, a 3D print to order. Probably also just go ahead and print some out or do some injection moldings of some base models, but would be able to greatly reduce the cost. The other part of that would be to actually support the community. I know there's a big YouTube channel that did some like fan fiction type videos that did very well, and the first thing Games Workshop did was shut them down. They had a huge following. Instead of going, hey, this is an opportunity, and kind of doing a little cross-branding, no, they shut them down. Listen, I understand protecting IP. In fact, I had a run-in with them over IP and got the notice of a cease and desist from them while I happened to have an IP lawyer standing at my counter who sent them a very proper response, and the claim was quickly removed. Remember, we live in a world where you can say this works with something. It wasn't any of their models. It was simply you could use this with Warhammer models. You can absolutely say that, and forget any company that says you can't. A big company like that hates its fans, they just want their money. I think that there is room for a third-party company to come about, create their own system, or frankly, now game rules aren't trademarked, they are copywritten. There's only one game in history that's been patented. There's a reason why you don't need things like OGL or ORC. People use it because they want to get the additional support and have that marker on there so people can recognize it, but you don't need it. So if another company were to come around, create their own lore, and build their own community, and actually foster that community, but instead of focusing on selling physical product, instead selling the digital products, I think that there is a definitive lucrative opportunity there. And so I thought I would share here and just see what you guys think. No, it's not something I'm looking at doing. And if you're in the position and that's something you want to do, go for it. I deserve nothing for it, but it's just an idea. I think, especially the way as we see things are going, there's going to be a lot of shakeup in this hobby and in this industry over the next 5 to 10 years. And it's going to take doing things a little bit differently. And it's going to take community building, because if certain things come to pass, And, the big players in the game, like, say, Dungeons and Dragons, fall out of favor, that hurts the industry as a whole because people know Dungeons and Dragons. They don't know TTRPGs. And people know Warhammer and Warhammer 40K. They don't know strategy wargaming. Some do, but not many. Not as many as know the big name. And so if these companies continue to damage their brand, they damage the industry as a whole, and it's going to be very difficult to get people into a hobby if they want nothing to do with the key brands, unless other brands have become recognizable enough to help lure people in. Just a thought. Until I see you guys again, remember to be well, be safe, and be awesome, both to yourself and one another.